Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're doing well. And we'll wait a moment or two to say hello to our dear friends. And good morning to, who's numero uno? Brahim from Portland, Oregon. Good morning. And with 4 coffee cups. Well, I've had 3, Brahim, this morning already. Good morning to you. And Rosa Linda, I think I might have missed you yesterday, Niagara Falls. Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Nativity, good morning. And Kevin, I see your name. Mary, good morning. And Rosa, Morial. And Paulina, good morning to you from Tirana. Lori from Niagara Falls. Wendy from Markham, good morning. Jeanette from our staff. Nellie, all our favorite people in the universe are on this morning. Nick from our staff. Diane, Thunder Bay, good morning. Milika, good morning. Stouffville. Annette, Nouveau Brunswick, good morning. Anna, Hamner, how are you? Faith, La Batière, Quebec, bonjour. Doris, good morning. Andrea, Nouveau Brunswick, where's Jerry? Yolande, bonjour. Madeleine, Nikina, how are you? Debbie, lots of folks from Quebec. Sandy, Washington State. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Brenda, Campbell River. Roxanne, good morning. Ross, and Dave, how is you? Janice, Brampton. So far, I haven't missed anybody. Maria and Evelyn. Guys, you are wonderful. And Nick was saying something there. I missed it. Carol and Bonnie. Good morning, Manitoulin Island. Sue, how is you? Hey, from Manitoulin, Diane. And Donna from Newfoundland. We appreciate you guys. Pat, good morning to you. And Grace, how are you? Carol, Newfoundland. Boy, Newfoundland, well represented. Doreen, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Help. Sue, good morning. I already said hello to you, didn't I, Sue? Okay, and another Sue. Roxanne, Valparaiso, Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Mary from PEI, and it's raining there. IT, Unionville. Christine, good morning to you. And Maureen, I miss you every day, Maureen. I don't mean to. Boca Raton, Connie. In the Laurentians, beautiful. Linda, Sharon, got her book yesterday. Well, good for you. Cecilia, I miss you. Sorry. Mara, Lynn, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Barbara and Vince, let's get going. Maryland. Indian River, Ontario, wherever that is. Gloria, good morning. Linda, I love those Lindas. John from Elgin, Illinois. Martha, good morning. Chantal, Hamner, hey, well represented this morning. Cheryl, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Christina, how are you? Me, how are you? Anna, I missed you. I didn't mean to. Wanda, okay. Julie yesterday, okay. I saw this and I liked it. So I said, I'm going to mention it this morning. Julia said, superstars gather here. Julie, I like that. Superstars gather here. Guys, isn't that the truth? Superstars gather here this morning on the Doctor Is In podcast. Yes, I love it. Okay, new study out on vitamin D. Now let me get my book, because I quote this in my book on page 3. So write Sun steak, steel, sleep. Okay? New book. Okay? I'm just reading page 3. Vitamin D is good for everything. If you have healthy levels of vitamin D, all cancers are decreased by 75%. Crazy, isn't it? Male heart attacks are down 50% if you have optimized levels of vitamin D. Type 2 diabetes down 50%. Okay, I wrote this, took 6 months to get here in the book. Okay, but when I wrote this, there were studies showing that type 2 diabetes down 50%. Listen to this. Type 1 diabetes down 80% with proper levels of vitamin D. Now, okay, and unless you guys think I'm crazy, all cancers decreased by 75%. Guys, do you think vitamin D is important? Male heart attacks down 50% with people with optimized vitamin D. Like, guys, this is research. This is not me. Okay, I'm quoting from my book, but this is research. Okay, type 2 diabetes down 50% and type 1 diabetes down 80%. Autoimmune diseases down 20%. In people with optimized, this is on page 3 of my book. Now, okay, put my book down, and I am going to talk to you about a study that is in the British Journal of Nutrition out of South India. Now, South India is close for me. Why? Because I have my son-in-law married to one of my daughters. His family is from South India. Okay? A region called Kerala. This study came out of Kerala. Okay? I haven't been to India, but apparently it's beautiful. South India. Okay? In the south. This is where, and so my daughter married, I often talk to you about my son-in-law, Dr. Sam, who's the best emergency physician ever. Okay? I mean it. And I call him 1-800-SAM. You remember what I was saying yesterday? If you get hit by a bus, don't call me. Call 1-800-SAM. Maybe he's the best. Okay? Now, and you should see those kids. They're beautiful. Okay? Now, the British Journal of Nutrition, okay, on vitamin D. This, guys, is, okay, so let me just go back to the book. I'm saying here, type 2 diabetes down 50% and type 1 diabetes down 80% if they have healthy levels of vitamin D. Now, this study out of Kerala, South India, and peer-reviewed, and now published in the British Journal of Nutrition, it says this. Okay? Mild to moderate deficiency, here's the headlines of the study. Mild to moderate deficiency of vitamin D has been identified as one of the risks for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. If you have low levels of vitamin D, your risk of getting diabetes is up big time. Big time. What's the connection between vitamin D and diabetes? Okay? Because let's be honest, when you and I think of diabetes, now not type 1, okay, but type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is called adult onset diabetes. Okay? Now, we relate that to food. Okay? Because what we always talk about is insulin is a food hormone. Okay? So, but this study is really giving credence to what I wrote in my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, that a lack of vitamin D makes you much more susceptible to type 1 diabetes. 80% is a factor. Now, here's why. Because this study sort of tells us what happens to your body. There's a lot of things that happen when you're low in vitamin D. A lot of bad things happen. You know, it's not, vitamin D is just not only for your bones. It's not only for your bones. You guys know that, but the world out there doesn't know it. They're scared skinny of the sun. And if they go out in the sun, they wear sunscreen. So they're not getting vitamin D. 20 minutes in the sun, you get 10,000 IUs. It's so good for you in every way. Now, back to the study. Okay, before I get on a rabbit trail. Okay, the British Journal of Nutrition said, when you have low levels of vitamin D, you have a decrease in the glucose absorption. And it's worse in women than it is in men. Okay, this is according to the study. Peer-reviewed. Okay, now, let me give you some physiology of how this happens, okay? According to the study. Okay? Now, here's what it says. When you have low levels of vitamin D, okay, and I'll talk to you about some numbers in a minute. When you have low levels of vitamin D, you have a decrease in the absorption of, you have a decrease in the response at the cellular level to to insulin. Okay, so let's stop just for a minute. So make sure we're all on the same page here. When you have low levels of vitamin D, you're developing, even without food, okay? Food makes everything worse, obviously, but let's just stick to vitamin D for a moment. Your cells, okay, every cell in your body, and here's what the study is saying. Your muscle cells, okay, your muscles. You got cells in your muscles. What do I always talk to you about as far as your muscles? Why do I want you to sun, steak, and steel? Why do I talk about steel? Because muscles. I was explaining this the other day to my brother. Okay? Who is 5 years older than I am. And he goes to the gym, and I was telling him, I said, Mitch, good for you. Keep going. And I was explaining the metabolic effect of muscles. I said, what a connection it has. Muscles to brain. But, when we get our age, we want to, you really want to protect your brain. But muscle cells, okay, is the best place in the world for your body to store glucose. Okay? Muscles are the best place in the world for your body. It's the bins. If the bigger your bins, and guys, look at ladies, listen, and this is more important even for you according to this study. You want to get strong. Why? For a lot of reasons. But one of the main reasons is metabolically. And you know me, I talk about metabolic syndrome all the time. 93% of the population have trouble in the area of metabolic syndrome. They can't store glucose properly. The end result of your food is glucose. You don't need to eat glucose. Your body makes it from food you eat. You need to store it though. You need places to store it. And the primary place you want to store glucose is in muscle. Okay? And it says, when your vitamin D is down, this is fascinating. Your cells in your muscle cells, do not respond to insulin like they should. In the absence even of food, low levels of vitamin D give you insulin resistance. Wow. Wow. Think about that. Muscle cells, and they're saying, okay, so vitamin D, low levels of vitamin D decrease insulin response. So insulin resistance in cells in your muscles, in cells, your fat cells, and your liver cells. Remember the liver. Okay? It ain't Vegas. You know my expression. Your liver isn't Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Isn't that an expression? Well, what happens in your liver doesn't stay there. Your liver affects your brain. Your liver affects your heart. Your liver affects your blood vessels. Your liver affects your hormones, your thyroid. And there's a course online that you can take if you want, the metabolic storm course, okay? Thousands of people have been taking it. In the last month or so, it's been online, okay? Don't ask me how, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, how you sign up for it. Oh, okay? All I know is I see my face there on Facebook all the time. And I'm talking about the metabolic storm course that we created. Now, I remember that. Okay? But why do women, okay, and this is a little rabbit trail for a second. Why do women have such trouble with hormones? Because when they eat the wrong food, their liver is full, and you need an empty liver to convert T4 to T3. 80%. Look, your thyroid, ladies, works on you guys should know this. Your thyroid works on T3. But your body makes T4. Almost all of production is T4. It needs to be converted to T3 for your thyroid to work properly. Okay? Hormones. Now, back to vitamin D. Vitamin D, okay? Two things. One, your cells, muscle, liver, fat cells, develop insulin resistance with a low level of vitamin D. And guys, this is unreal. Type 1 diabetes, think about it. Type 1 diabetes. Okay? Type 1 is autoimmune, guys. It's an autoimmune disorder. People are born with it, or they develop this early in life often. Type 1 diabetes. It's autoimmune. And they've always said the pancreas is not working properly. It's an the beta cells in the pancreas. I remember this in school because I like me, when there was something that sort of grabbed me, I never forget it. Okay. So I used to when I studied, physiology and that, we studied the pancreas. Okay. And in the pancreas, I remember this like it was yesterday, the first time I ever heard it. I never forgot it after that. There's the islets of Langerhans. I like that. I don't know why, it just stuck with me. Well, that's where your beta cells are. And your beta cells in the pancreas secrete insulin. In the absence of proper levels of vitamin D, according to the study from India, Kerala, the islets of Langerhans do not secrete enough insulin. They're getting to the bottom of type 1 diabetes. And a factor for sure in type 2. Why is it that some people, even though they're terrible eaters, are not officially diagnosed with diabetes? I used to tell my patients this all the time. All the time, all the time, all the time. Diabetes is the last thing that happens. Not in type 1, but type 2, okay? Type 2 diabetes is the last thing that happens. Your body, every cell in your body, especially your insulin, your pancreas is dedicated to making sure you never become a diabetic. Even if you insist on eating terrible. And diabetes, by the way, is not genetic. It's not genetic. Now, it can make you more susceptible, but it's not genetics. And it's not just food. Holy moly. Like it's vitamin D to the sun. Your body needs, we all know your immune system needs vitamin D. It doesn't work properly without it. Your T cells need vitamin D. You're a human solar panel. And what are we learning today? Your pancreas needs vitamin D to work properly. Holy moly. I mean, this is significant, guys. And here we are today. We're in 2023, And there's a war in North America on vitamin D. There's a war going on. It's worse in Canada. I'm telling you. They want to stop people, their ability to take vitamin D. And if they could, they wouldn't even let you go in the sun. Did you hear the story last week? I'm not kidding you. It was so stupid that it didn't give me a headache. But it was so stupid. And that is, it says, here's the headlines last week. I'm not kidding you. The White House, okay, is looking at blocking the sun for the United States of America. Guys, if you think I'm joking, Google it. The White House. The geniuses that are running the government are talking about blocking the sun. Oh. I promised myself I wouldn't get a headache this morning. There's a war going on vitamin D. They want to stop you. But you get in the sun. And the Canadians, we're going to be lucky if we can still take vitamin D with this new legislation that's already been passed, by the way. We got to be screaming. It's unreal. Vitamin D, the sun, lowers your risk of diabetes. And like I said, every cell in your body wants to fight diabetes. It's the last thing that happens. And this is why, like for me, okay, because I was such a specialist in it, I used to take people's urine. I didn't wait for their blood sugar. And a lot of people that had normal, so-called normal blood sugar were peeing out sugar in their urine. I said, you're a diabetic. Oh no, Dr. Martin, my blood sugars are good. Yeah, but that's a lagging indicator. It's the last thing will happen to you. You have developed insulin resistance out the wazoo, and you're a diabetic. You and carbs don't get along. You just don't. You and carbs are enemies, even though you might like them. They don't like you. You have an allergy to carbohydrates. And most, well, listen, 93% of the population, 93, have metabolic syndrome. And really what that means is they and carbs don't get along. And almost invariably, according to this study, and according to my years of experience, they're also low in vitamin D. What a biomarker that is. And my word, is it ever hard to get that tested? It's almost unreal. Because physicians, God love them. I'm sorry, they just don't know anything about vitamin D other than it's good for your bones. So if they're not thinking osteoporosis, if you're not menopausal or whatever, they go, what do you want vitamin D tested for? You're just wasting the government's money, or you're wasting your money. My word, guys, it should be so mandatory when you look at all the stuff that vitamin D affects, from your immune system to your islets of Langerhans. from your brain to your toe. And by the way, let me just say it in case we forget. Lest we forget. What is Alzheimer's? Type what? Type 1 is autoimmune. Type 2 is what they call adult onset diabetes. Sugar diabetes. Remember, my dad said to me in 1968, son, it's called sugar diabetes. Oh, yeah? Yeah. 1968. What does that mean, son? It's caused by sugar, not by red meat. It's not moderation, son. It's elimination of sugar. I watched my dad do it. And what is Alzheimer's? In 2005, what did they name it? And then it got scuttled. It got taken away. They called it, researchers were calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. But the food industry, Big Pharma, you think they like that? Nope. And they hid it. They hid it. Do you think this study is going to turn anyone's head in mainstream medicine? Don't hold your breath, guys. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Yep. Crazy, eh? Crazy. Yep. Don't hold your breath. Interesting study, isn't it? Vitamin D. Well, you know better. You know that vitamin D is good for everything in your body. You know. Sun, steak, and steel. Have you got the book yet? You haven't? I know you guys are so good. You guys are so good. Thank you for making it the #1 book, best-selling, fastest. Now, that's you guys. It's an easy read, guys, okay? I'm not complicated. I really am not. I'm a simple guy. I try and keep it simple because I'm simple. I want things to be simple for me to understand. Okay, guys. What did Judy say? I like it. Superstars gather here. You guys are the superstars. I like that. I like that. I like that. Superstars gather here. Tell your friends to join us so that they can become superstars. Tell them about the podcast. Even if they can't get on live with us today, okay? We love live, guys. I love live. But remember, tell them to get onto the podcast. The doctor is in podcast on their smart device. We're up to 1.5 million downloads. Guys, on that podcast. Several million views on Facebook. We appreciate that, guys. Tell people they can join the superstars that are gathered here. I love it. Okay, guys. Talk to you soon.